like we have close horizontal positions. We have Dignitas Sjow coming out all the way from Sweden. He is in the bottom right as the red Terran, and the friendly, ever-smiling, happy Zerg from FXO. We got Sheth in the bottom left.
Yeah, I mean, you know, taking a moment to just talk about Sheth. I mean, both these guys are completely just top-notch, classy players and individuals. You know, Show's always got a smile on his face. He's always ready to play. He's always ready to interact with people in the community, whether it be players or casters, etc. Sheth is equally probably one of the nicest StarCraft 2 players that I know. He's just been a treat to get to play with, to get to watch compete, etc. So, I mean, it's hard for me to really pick a favorite here in this matchup, and I am happy that we are seeing some Terran here on the red stream.
Indeedy do, the race that many people have left by the wayside. No, not today. We're bringing it back, and we're going to see many more Terrans making their way through. Tomorrow, we have Sheth continuing to make up a good amount of drones, and here is something very interesting. We're seeing Sjow build that barracks on top of his main ramp. Almost always on this map, you see Terran begin building barracks on this second lower ramp to be able to do an eventual expansion early on here. But we consistently see Sjow doing his own thing, completely ignoring what the trends are in matchup and playing Sjow-like.
Yeah, he does. And you know, when you're a player going up against Sjow, you have to consider and take his history into account when you're doing things like this. For example, Sheth has no problem putting down his hatch first. He knows that there's not going to be any SCV there to give him any kind of harassment. He knows that he can kind of hide what he's doing for a little bit. But at the same time, Sjow can completely take anyone by surprise by actually scouting. We have seen him do that before, but this drone's going to go ahead and get in no problem, sees exactly where that barracks is. He's going to send the Marine out to take him out right away. We'll block him on the ramp, and very, very wisely done. Not going to be able to take him out. He's going to screech out of there with just 6 hit points remaining, and that supply depot has finished up. No gas here for Sjow as of yet, and we do have the pool and the gas going down for Sheth.
This is actually very, very nice timing by Sheth to be able to sweep and see no gas and then pop right back out again. Now pulling to the expansion, actually bringing a lot of drones, anticipating that there could be a bunker rush, but then calmly sending all those drones back to mine. Should rearrange those with a nice little spamming of the C button. And, ooh, actually looks like he does not know the C button return cargo trick, an ever so important hotkey for any Zerg player.
Well, explain it for all those. If Sheth doesn't know it, then probably viewers don't know.
Well, the easiest, you know, the intuitive way to return a drone would be if he has money and it's going the wrong way, you right-click on the hatchery and you think that that's the best way to return him. But if you just hit the C button, this return cargo button that actually doesn't even come up until he has minerals, there it is, return cargo. He'll return it to the nearest thing and go back to mine where he was before. So it's a very easy way to keep those drones organized.
And educational too.
Yes, that is right.
Sir.
Thank you.
We had another racks going down here at the front. A few Marines out, but of course the command center going down as well. Now we have an immediate roach warren coming out here by Sheth. His first queen is out, and he's continuing to mine that gas, of course, so that he can support those roaches. Meanwhile, we have a few lings poking up here at the front. Second barracks does come down, but those Marines will chase those lings away, and more Marines are on the way with that third racks going down there at the front to create a nice little wall.
And this is actually a very strange technique we're going to see come out of Sheth. You can actually get a bunch of roaches very quickly against a Terran player, because roaches are extremely good against basic unupgraded Marines in small numbers. In fact, they're so good that it's honestly very dangerous for Sjow to be making a little press like this. Looks like he's expecting his opponent to be relying a little bit more on blings. He might end up taking out one Overlord, but no, there pop out all those roaches, and those Marines are going to have to be on the full-out retreat.
Yeah, the 3 roaches pop out. They'll go ahead and kick all of these Marines back. Now, there are still a few more Marines in the back at Shjow's base with the bunker going down as well. He's going to go ahead and lift this rack so he can get these units back in. These 4 Marines just darting for their sweet life here as they will make a quick stutter step to take out that ling. Roaches will chase them all the way there, but they'll manage to get home safely. And once he loads up this bunker, of course, so the roaches are going to keep on going in there. They'll back off. 5 roaches, 6 roaches now here at the front. And I wonder what he plans to do with these.
If he had an Overlord, he could see up and begin chewing away at those barracks, but the real danger is that Zjow is actually getting a double starport, a very weird play, but can actually get Banshees very quickly and begin putting pressure back on Sheth, who has absolutely no layer whatsoever, trying to spread creep to join up with that new third base of his, but Sheth is actually in a kind of an awkward position.
We have seen Sjow do this before, where he will get these out right here, and I'm keeping a close eye as the first Banshees do come out. It seems to be, Overlord in the back will manage to get away as well, but he seems to really like this sort of style of play, and he mixes up this unit composition. It can be very effective. He can harass, but then a lot of times, especially with the double starport, we'll see him just continue to add to it and sort of overwhelm his opponent.
You can actually force your opponent to go for Mutalisks if you have enough Banshees. Technically, you could force them to go Hydralisk, but almost always Zergs are steering away from Hydralisks in this matchup. If you make a lot of Banshees, any attacks that involve a lot of Banelings or Roaches essentially cannot even function. And it looks like Zjow might even just be trying to do a straight-up attack with Banshees and Marines.
Yeah, now lucky for Sheth, he does have this Overlord that will spot the two Banshees moving out. He sees the command center going down as well. And these Marines are going to be moving forward, but the Roaches preemptively come out. Now, the Banshees could help out with those Roaches being so far away. We do have one Spore Crawler down, but it looks like Banshees will move in, try to do some damage. You can see that Sheth has made a few extra Queens to deal with this, and it is a good response. Here we got Roaches moving forward. He is going to get inside when the barracks goes up. However, you can see that the bunker is full, and with the surround by the SCVs, wow, those Roaches are still going to manage to get into the base, taking some heavy damage there. With those two more Banshees coming out, though, they'll easily be taken care of.
This is the real danger with spending that kind of attack, is that you just have the risk of Banshees popping out, easily repelling with a couple of blasts. So now I see this northern expansion again with even this much gap between the creep. That means those Queens cannot reinforce one another. With 4 Banshees about to arrive, those Queens are likely to fall.
Yeah, one is going down. He's going to go ahead and target the other one. He should be able to take both of these out. He micros the other one back just fine, but now with 4 Banshees out, this can become real nasty. He'll be able to take out all of these drones. He'll want to get rid of the Spore Crawler as well, but it is going to finish up. He takes out all the drones first, and he won't even worry about that Spore Crawler. He does lose 1 Banshee in that exchange, and he will continue. Actually, he is not. He's moved away. Both barracks now going with Tech Labs, and he will just go ahead and be content with these 3 Banshees he has out on the field.
Banshees just kill Queens so ridiculously fast, and he's actually trying to track down that one Queen and does manage to take it out. Loses a Banshee in the process. I think that was a big mistake by Zjow. Actually completely losing focus, losing another Banshee. Looks like Sheth may have evened that out if he managed to take off that last Banshee, but Sheth still at layer tech. Oh, never mind. He is at hive tech. He's even getting a Hydralisk den. And for the first time in a very long while, it looks like we're going to see Hydralisks in Zerg vs. Terran.
Yeah, we are. He's making quite a few right now. Has more coming out. Of course, he'll need that creep to spread too. And he does have. We do see a tank and some Marines coming in. The tank is going to siege up here at the middle tower with the Marines spreading out just a little bit. A lot of Lings out along with these Hydras. And I can't imagine he's just going to go for a straight up. The Hydras maybe just to deal with an excess of Banshees, because now we see some Roaches coming out with +1 about to complete and Roach speed behind that.
Zjow is going to be pretty happy at the very least to have narrowed his opponent's composition down to a very, very small, unusual mix. You can exploit that with the standard mixture of Marines, Marauders, and tanks. There's the scan by Zjow, just sneaking up a little bit to try to keep that creep spread from getting too far stretched out. Now it looks like Sheth will manage to take out a couple of free Marines, and even 1 tank participating in the Marine killing.
Yeah, he does manage to stop that as well. He's got 2. Now he's got 2 medevacs all filled up. 16 Marines on the way. He could be going for that 3rd expansion again. He's already done some pretty good damage. He's going to hold on to the middle with those tanks there. And a lot of times on this particular setup too, we see this low ground play from the Terran. But with the Hydras out, probably not the best of ideas. Here's some Banshees going at it. It looks like this fourth did go down for Sheth. It's going to get assaulted here by this Banshee with only 17 hit points. And more Marines in the middle, but Sheth is going to move out with his army, and he just simply does not